Welcome to Arlene's Renaissance, y'all. Come on in, come on in. Tag and share to a friend, as they say. As I journey on, yeah. Come see all that He has for me, yeah. 'Cause I love Him so. I know in my heart that He will never leave or forsake me. Yeah. As I journey on this road, I'm uncertain. I'm never sure of what will be, but I know He's with me all the way. Hey, Cyber World, welcome again to Arlene's Renaissance. Good to see you guys. Today, well, you know, it's Holy Week, so it's coming to a conclusion. Friday was Good Friday, and Saturday is Passover, not Easter. It's actually Passover, and there's a difference, and I'm going to explain a little bit of that today. I'm not dogmatic about it, you know. I'm not one of those ones who, you know, get my panties in a bunch because you celebrate Christmas or Easter. A lot of you do it unawares as to what the meanings are, and even if you hear the meanings, it doesn't mean anything to you because you know none of that's real. There's no fertility god, something somebody made up. That's like saying, you know, you pray to stones, so I gotta think some way about stones. No, it's still just a stone. So, but that's, you know, that's just me. So I have that freedom. Others do not. You know, if it's against your conscience, then, you know, of course you can't do certain things. But if you get a chance today, catch the new Michael B. Jordan movie that's coming out today called Sinners. Ooh, it's coming out on Passion Week. It's a scary movie, and you know Michael B. Jordan is going to deliver. It's playing in very few, it's select theaters, but I know it's here in Savannah. I saw it on the schedule, so it's going to be great. Catch it if you can. I'd like to catch a matinee, actually. I go when all the seniors are there. It's more fun. What can I say? But anyway, before I go further, my paparazzi bling. I'm wearing pink today because I'm going to wear pink to church tomorrow. I had to try this dress on to make sure it fit and wasn't lewd and too just over the top. Because, you know, I've seen a lot of women lately around me, mostly young women, to our older women's credit. They're just, baby, you outside naked. You just... Now, I'm not one to put you down because we had our hot pants smoking and we had our mini skirts, and we have grown past it and we're older now. And but, you know, so we're also a little wiser, and we've learned that we don't do it because we can't, because some of these, you know, senior women have awesome bodies, okay? But we do it because we've learned through life and time and life's lessons that's really not what you want, unless that is what you want. Most of the time, that's not the attention you truly want. And so it wasn't the attention I wanted. So it was short-lived in my life, but I did have my moments. I just thank God we didn't have the internet. I would never live it down. But anyway, my paparazzi today is so pretty. It's pink, and this is actually copper. But the copper has a pink tone to it. Isn't it gorgeous? Got this stuff on the bottom of it here. I don't know what that is. But isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. And I love all that purple and pink in the inside. And that this, of course, matches the necklace, which has the same copper pinks to it. And then this is something separate. I got these. They just came in from Zenobia, ZJC. And I'm just trying to tell you, I love it, Zenobia. I'm going to stand up so you can see it. My dress is courtesy of Temu. It's a little tighter than I like. I need one of those better, body shapers where, you're so contoured, because I have a fupa. And you'll see what I mean. I'm going to step back so you can take a look at it. But it's pretty. It's just, you know, it's a Sunday go to service outfit. And see how you can see this little, I don't like that. I don't, it's a me thing. It's a me thing. But all of this is perfectly, perfectly paired. And then these just came in. Zenobia, they are gorgeous. I'm not certain, but I think these earrings were a one and done. So I got the last ones. But I love it. This is the Temu dress. And I know you've seen this one there. It has the little white beads on it, pearls, which of course match the earrings. I mean, it matched the necklace. And the earrings also have some little pearls on it as well, but they're like a little gold tones, which picks up the copper here. And then I picked up the coppers in the scarf, and then the tans from the jacket. And the reason I'm wearing the jacket is because I don't like that this shows like this. So this is a good covering, and so that it's where something I feel is a little bit too tight, but I love the colors in it. If it's okay otherwise, then I think that's an okay fit. Just remember that, and don't go take your jacket and fling it across the room or something. You might still want that that covering. But I think that's okay. But some of these young ladies, I don't want you to come in looking like somebody's grandma. I realize you're young, but I guess it's a life lesson you have to learn. Some people just have to learn. And I know it's hard today when all of your stars and all the people you emulate, that's how they dress and they get the attention, and it's what we call, you all are calling yourselves the B word and all that now. So things are different. I forget I'm from the planet Voltron, but anyway, this is my paparazzi, ZJC, Zenobia Bailey. She's my paparazzi consultant here on Facebook. I love her. She is like my personal consultant now. And anyway, the prices are going up on paparazzi. I think I posted it on my post. No surprise there. I mean, I'm pretty sure that these things, when they're getting made, in order for them to sell them that price for $5 for the long. Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me today. For $5 for the longest amount of time. I was trying to figure out how they were doing it without sweatshops, but whatever. And so anyway, they're going from 5 to 8 people. That's not a jump. And the $20 sets are now going to 32. And then those other ones, they have various prices. I never got into those other ones, the higher price things they have on the market. But they're going up as well. So check the pricing. I think I did post it. I posted one that I got directly from Zenobia to the website, so it should be on there. Yeah, so it should be there. But I love it, Zenobia. I love it. The dress is a little risque for me because I don't like my stomach showing. I need one of those real body thingies, that suck you in. Hey there, thanks for joining me today. I was just saying, hey Phil, how you doing? I was just saying this is my Sunday go to Sunday's outfit, but I think I need one of them little body thingies to make it everything nice and smooth and compact. Anyway, yeah, hey Tanzania, how you doing, Tanzania Eileen Blunt? Auntie loves you. I was just thinking of you. I'm still working on my painting. I got a lot done. I got it more contoured now. If you can see, the flowers have much more definition now. You can see the flowers coming out and the petals coming out in it. So I'm still getting there. This one is still getting there. I just wait till I get motivation. I have to remind myself all the time, Arlene, you're 64, honey. When you're tired, lay down and go to sleep. Because I can stay up all night. I can go down there and I can play the piano, then I can, paint, and, then get on the internet. And, before you know it, it's like 3 a.m., So, yeah. But anyway, join us every Wednesday night, folks. The karaoke is on fire. The food is good. The company is great. The pool competitions are really good, really interesting. We're out at Rack 'em Up at 2411 Skidaway Road. So if you get a chance, come out there. I was there, was Wednesday night, and they had the fish and chips. Oh my, it was so good. That was so good. That man can cook. I'm gonna do an expose on him. We're gonna do a special on just him. I just gotta get him to come out the kitchen long enough so we can talk to him. Yeah, really, yeah, absolutely. So I can't wait. And shout out to my friend Gina Bina out there in DC. She's still doing the thing with those gospel plays, doing the darn thing out in Shepherd's House in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. They just got off of that high, so I know that she's just feeling the thing. Can't wait for Sunday. And she's the one who got me into doing gospel plays. I was singing all the time, and she invited me to one, Sister Circle, and that place was phenomenal. That was just a God match. Sometimes God just matches with something that's just perfect for you. I mean, they were just a powerhouse, 3 sisters, and they were phenomenal. And the people that came through there, it just wasn't just stage plays, it was a ministry. And as long as I did the play, the play was about these 2 sisters, and one of them just, would not give her life to Christ or anything like that. And, and she died, and that night she had a dream. She hadn't died, had a dream. And in the dream she dreamed that she died. She and her sister, and she went to hell, and her sister went to heaven. And yes, that's right, Tangie, you did the shoebox fox. Oh my God, you still remember? Yes, because Regina got me doing it, and then I brought my nieces and nephews and friends, and that's the kind of organization it was. You could bring them, and Lucille was like, I got something for you to do. I'm gonna find something for you to do. And so my niece Tangie, who was like, how old were you, Tangie? You were only like, gosh, she was so short. Because you're only like, what, 4'10" now? And you're a grown woman, you're 30-something. You were so little. And she gave her a little roll, and she came out, the little hat was so big on her head, she was so small. And she comes out, a girl, it's a real live girl. I still remember you. So when we were going to pray, I didn't know she wanted to be in the play. I just brought her with me because, she was hanging out with Auntie. Auntie got to go to rehearsal, so you got to go to rehearsal. Here's some coloring books, something to do while we rehearse. And so when we pray, we bring all the kids up. And so when we were praying, she said, Auntie, I'm on this stage. I'm on this stage. I said, well, if I'd known it meant that much to you, I'd have been brought you up here. Lucille was like, oh, we got something for you to do. Come on in here. It was an experience, and I still remember JoJo and you all saying the Lord's Prayer. It was really, really beautiful. And it's just a wonderful memory. It's a wonderful memory. And I thank my friend Regina Bina, because she's that kind of friend. She's like, oh no, come on, Arlene. You can do it. You can do it. Don't worry, you can do it. And I could. So yeah, thank you, Regina. Yes, it is still hilarious. I still try to get some of those old tapes, but Regina has stuff everywhere, and so it's hard to come by, I love the one where Ron was the king no, he was the pharaoh. And that one was good too. And so it was a lot of them. There were so many ones where we were playing bums. We went all over with those plays. It is just something. I mean, sometimes when I look back, I think, wow, I am really old. Which is why I decided to dye my hair white, because I'm tired of waiting. Anyway, my buddy Phil Scalmato, who was just on, check him out, our old school crooner. He's at Rock House Restaurant at 1518 Butler Avenue, Tybee Island. Check him out, guys. New Jersey, New Jerusalem, New Order. That's my church here in Savannah. Greater Faith Ministries. Check us out any Sunday. Of course, we're going to be there Resurrection Sunday. Try to get to somebody's church Resurrection Sunday. And just say thank you, God. Thank you for Jesus. Thank you for bearing my sins. Giving me the opportunity. Giving me a chance. Thank you. Yeah, it's Passion Week. Yeah. It's coming to a close now. I couldn't miss a chance to share my faith a little bit about Passover versus Easter. The blood on the doorpost and all that stuff. Well, I'm going to share a little bit of it with you. For those of you who don't know, Easter is not the same thing as Passover. Passover You'll hear that more in the Jewish community, that term. You'll hear Easter or Passover in most American communities, but they can mean the same thing from various people, but they actually are different. Easter, I won't call it a pagan holiday, but basically in those lines of a pagan holiday, and it's something that they came up with in society. It's basically about rebirth, because April, everything's coming alive, Mother Nature, the flowers are blooming, blah 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 blah. That's how you got the bunnies and the eggs and all that stuff. Went on down the line with that, which has nothing to do with Passover. Passover, if you get your first glimpse of Passover, is when you see the children, Hebrew children, and Moses, and when the angel of death comes through and kills the firstborn, and they were all instructed to put the lamb's blood over the doorposts of their house, and death would pass them by, which is symbolic of what we have today, which is the blood of Jesus that was shed for us, so that symbolically that death would pass us by, but in realistically that we won't share in the second death, which is what you face after judgment if you're not saved.
Powering off.
And to tell you what salvation is,
Powering on. Ready to pair. Paired.
we believe that Christ bore the sins of the world when he was crucified, yours and mine. And so Romans 10 and 9. This is the first scripture I ever remembered, Romans 10:9, and I'll tell you what the other one is. Confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that he is raised from the dead, and you shall be saved. I used to wonder why so many people would do this every Sunday and never get saved, and then they say this, and then one person will walk up there and bam, that's it, everything in their life changes. And the difference, of course, is the heart, because it's believing in your heart. But the other part is with the mouth, because confessing with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. When someone is Lord over you, like the edict from a king, you're saying, my life is out of control. I need a power higher than my own. I'm tired of this depth of depravity. I'm tired of this. I want something different, something fresh. I want abundance of life. And you're saying to him, I can't do this myself, so I need someone to show me the way out. I need light. And so you're inviting him in. But that means you can't then follow the light and keep shutting it out. He is the Lord. He's showing you the way out because you don't know the way out. And so that's where a lot of the problem starts in right there. Most people remain lords over their own lives. It's what I want. It's what I want to do. It's what I say. And you can do that. It has never had the payout for me that I had hoped for going my own way. Let's just put it that way. And usually when I do things his way, I have a greater peace. I have a greater joy. I have greater harmony, I guess, in my life. You know, I thought about that. You know, he said, my peace I leave with you and not as with the world. The world seeks peace in outward things, buying things, sex, men, whatever, drugs, music, you know, crafts, art. They seek peace through these things. But the kind of peace I have, and I didn't realize the depth of this peace until I faced massive losses and the loss of everything. I mean, I hate the comparison, but it's like a Job moment where you lose everything. You lose your health, all of your family, your parents, your money, everything, your spouse, and your health, because you can always depend on yourself, and then your mind, because your mind can get to a place where it can break when you put it under so much stress, so much pressure. And so I, needed something stronger than myself. And so when I get to those places in my life, I wondered, how do I have peace? And it's a weird thing because you don't even understand. I'd be thinking I should be broke up. And it's not like I don't cry. It's not like I never cried. When the thing happened, I cried. Because he says he's a wonderful counselor. And when you go to a counselor, all you do is talk to them. So that's all I do is talk to him. I don't have any special words, no special these and thous and thuses and therefores. And people say, oh, you need to give him his word back. Believe me, if you keep talking, his word will come right out your mouth because you've heard it. And so I would sit there, hey, Harold, thanks for joining us. And I would sit there, and I, sit there out of my mouth, just out of my heart, praying to him out of my heart, with all my heart, And so that's how I came to know him. And it has made a difference. I have an inner peace. His spirit rests in me. They talk about the Holy Spirit. That's hard for people to understand. So I don't dare try to explain it to you. You know how you get a feeling like something, the hairs on the back of your neck raised? That's something you feel on the inside that also reverberates on the outside? It's kind of akin to that, but only much deeper. But all of that being, I was having a conversation with a friend this week, and I said, he's my friend. He's my father. He was there when I fell in love for the first time, my first date, my first flops, the first time I ever sang on stage, scared to death. He is my friend when I've blown it. And I think he shouldn't be my friend. He's still there. And he doesn't just turn away. He lifts me back up. Which, to my embarrassment, because I know I'm not the best this or best that. I've often said, can't you find somebody? Especially when you want to talk about relationships. I'm like, I am the worst person to talk about that. But I think that's why, because the rawness of it, the emotion, the real emotion, the genuine heartache, and also the overcoming of it, seeing me wade right through it with a calm and something that resonates from the inside. And so that I learned, and I didn't even know that was in me. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't gotten to this place. And I thought, wow, why am I so calm? I should be upset, this and that. And then I laugh at people who get upset because they don't have their favorite latte, or they don't have their this or that. And I'm like, Lord, it's coming at me from all ends. What is happening? What is happening? But I'm just not, And I thought about it. I was telling my friend, my roommate, I said, it's a relationship. I talk to him every day. I talk to him all the time. That's what prayer is. Just pouring out my heart. And how would you feel if you had a relationship with somebody, they only talk to you once a week for maybe 15 minutes for an hour or something? Look, you would be done with that relationship and done with them. Or they only call you and talk to you when they're in trouble. You would be done with that relationship and you would be done with them. So, it's a thing that develops. It's a thing that the trust is a thing in the faith. Some of it's faith, but some of it's not faith at all. Some of it's just lived and learned experiences. I've fallen so many times, and he's caught me so many times and lifted me back up so many times, and didn't put me down, berate me, just brushed me off, helped me get all straightened back up. Come on now, you can keep on going. And so because of that, that's in me now. That love is in me. So it's that sort of a thing. It's not a bunch of these and thous and don'ts and do's. Because to be honest with you, the more you fall in love with him, you don't want to do stuff that makes him feel bad or makes him feel some sort of way. I love it. So, I'm going to give you the 7 last words. Not that they mean a lot to you if you're not a Christian, but these were the things that he said on the cross, which is why I guess I have that love, because God is love, that lives inside of us. And he exemplified that on the cross, showing that, the 2 most important commands, love God with all your heart and soul and all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself, are the 2 most important scriptures. And he exemplified them even in his death. He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, as these people had beat him all night and were crucifying him. He said, I tell you to do today, you will be with me in paradise. That's what he said to the thief on the cross, who was getting what he deserved. He was like, man, I'm a thief. I'm getting what I deserve. You know, but I see something different in you. You didn't do this. You a man of God. And I believe you. You know, I think you saying something. I'm gonna take care of you. And so he said, yeah, this day you're gonna be with me in paradise for that little bit of faith you had right there on the cross, on your way out the door. That's how I know it ain't never too late. You on the cross. It's getting down to the minutes, buddy. That brother was saved by the bell. He was on the cross, buddy. So it's never too late. Just imagine that. Imagine that. You're in the annals of time. You was on your way to hell. And here comes the Savior sitting beside you. And you're like, I heard about this thing, but I didn't think this is really him. What is happening here? How in the world did I come? And I'm in this thing? Yeah, man, yeah. And the other one, think about the opportunity he missed out on. Oh, that guy. He's like the guy that quit the Beatles before they blew up, right? That guy, wow. So then as Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. It says, my God, why have you forsaken me? You ever feel like that sometimes? Everybody feels like that. So if Jesus felt like that, why you beat yourself up because you felt like that? Thinking you don't have no faith. You got faith. You just get down. It ain't the end of the world. You know, a blade of grass is the strongest thing in the world. You can put a 400-pound person on a little skinny blade of grass. He'll bend that blade of grass down. It might even break and crumple a little bit. But when he get up, the sun come out and some water come on that blade, gonna stand just as strong as if nothing ever happened. In fact, the only way to keep it down and kill it is to keep something on it so it'll turn brown. But even then, let it get to the sunlight. Let it get to some water of the word, and I'm telling you, it's going to bounce back up. Yeah. But dear woman, here is your son. Here is your mother. Him showing that he cares for our needs, even on his way out the door. Never think God is not concerned about your situation and your circumstance. That don't mean you ain't going to never go through nothing. Don't mean your circumstance going to always be great. Because I just told you about all those things I'm going through right now. But I'm still experiencing peace in them. I'm growing in them. And the things that I'm saying and doing are being produced in it like oil. Like a flower opening up. I'm looking at it, you know. And I got something like that. It's called a butterfly. I'm going to tell you that one a little bit later. And he says, I'm thirsty. He was human. He had physical needs just like you. Don't think you serve a Savior who doesn't know the infirmities of our weaknesses. We are made perfect in it. His strength is made perfect in our weaknesses. Because I complain all the time. I'm like Gideon. I'm like, of all the ones you did, ours is the least. I got the. You're like, just go in the strength you have. My strength is made perfect. I'm like, that's a setup. And then it's finished. It's a finished work. I don't have to add nothing to it or take away nothing from it. All I have to do is just simply accept it on the blood post of my heart. He'll never leave me. His peace I leave with you. I know I'm from the planet Voltron. I know. People here today don't think like I think. And you don't act like I act. I know. But know this. There's no strings holding me like a puppet. There's no consternation that I can get. I'm a single woman. I'm a grown woman. I can go and do what I want to do. I choose to not do certain things. I choose to do certain things because they feel right within my soul. I don't want to be over pious or live in debauchery either. I want to be well balanced and an abundant life. And the only way to do that is to have as clear a conscience as I can have. That's a part of the peace. I'm not worrying about the things I'm doing to others coming back to me, reaping what I sowed. If you sow good, it'll come back to you. Maybe not from the person you done it to, but I guarantee you it'll come back to you. That's true. But the one thing I wanted to share about the story of Job, and this is the most important, while you're waiting, you've been through this, God, where are you? Why did you let all this happen? And I was talking to God the other day, and he was like, Arlene, he was telling me it's already here. And he kept saying that, it's already here. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's already here. I still got this to deal with. I'm still dealing with that. These people are still down my neck about this. Da, 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 da. He's like, it's already here. And so I just kept reading about Job, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, those things happen. I understand that, they, even if God didn't cause those things to happen, but he removes this barrier of protection around you, allowing them. Only allowing them, hey, pretty girl. Only allowing them for your beautiful self. Hey, Chantel. That's my little Chantel bird. Only the allowing them if he's given you the strength within to endure them or overcome it or overcome them. Because we overcome by the blood of the Lamb, the word of the testimony of those who do not shrink away from death. But, so I thought about that story and I was like, well, God, he kept saying, I said, yeah, Job was delivered. Look, at the end, he got this and he got that and he got that. And then he showed me something. When you read the story of Job, you saw when he lost all his children passed away. You saw when he lost his wealth. His friends turned their backs on him. He lost his health. He was scraping his sores. And, that's when you find out where your friends are, where your enemies are. That's for sure. And lost his standing. People seeing him as unrighteous. And he was a righteous man. And so while he was sitting down there, and then the Lord told him, pray for your, friends, your friends were incorrect. I didn't do this to you as punishment. I allowed this to happen to you as a testimony of who I am and who you are in me. And basically as one, you can't be snatched from me. And so, and I was like, oh, that was awful. But he gave him 3 times as much. His latter days were greater than his former. And so, and I was like, yeah, but he got all his stuff back. He got his kids back. And he said, yeah. He said, but do you know how long that took? Yeah, it was already here. When you're reading the story, you think it was like, bah. The next day, he had 10 kids. His health was back. He had his wealth back. He said, no. Ain't nobody having 10 kids like that. It took at least 10 years. But we have our minds have an inclination to think God is just like magic, bam, abracadabra. Not that he can't, but that wasn't an abracadabra moment. That was him showing you. If you seek him first in his righteousness, all those things will be added to you. If you trust him, even in the bad times, even in the sad times, he'll bring you through and leave behind a blessing greater than anything you could have imagined. That's what I got, because I was like, oh yeah, that didn't just happen instantaneously. Why do I always read it like that? I'm not kidding. Every time I saw that story, that's how I saw it. So anyway, I got this from Facebook before I get out of here. Through it all, I've come to this conclusion. At this ripe old age, soon to be 64, I'll be 64 in June. As seen on Facebook, I am happy. I like me. That's a peaceful thing too, just liking yourself. The cracks in my soul are like the lines in a mosaic. Each one telling a story of survival, growth, and the quiet, steady work of healing. Brokenness doesn't mean fragility. It is a testament to your capacity to withstand, rebuild, and continue moving forward, no matter how difficult the journey might be. I had a friend tell me about a difficult time she had recently. And I couldn't fathom something like that. I couldn't fathom that she was holding that heavy thing and carrying it around every day with her. And I listened to her and I thought, my God, why? I'm sure that has changed her indelibly. And I was listening to him and talking, and it was just weighing on me. I just kept talking to him. And he said, yes, that's true. And he said that he's not the purveyor of evil. He doesn't bring sin into the world. That is the purveyor of evil. That's the first thing. Men are not robots. He doesn't usurp their choice. But even in that, I still wasn't happy. And he said, now I want you to flip the coin and look at her situation another way. With all that you were told, you look at her differently now, don't you? Because all I kept thinking was, you is something else, girl. All that, you took the toughest life has to throw at you. It gave you its strongest punch. And you still standing? You still standing. You took the hardest punch they had, girl. Do you know what that's saying about you? You tough as leather. But you can even build on that. Because you don't want to be, you want to remain supple leather. Yeah. Oh, I started thinking about it differently. I said, because that kind of fortitude that I see inside of her, I've never seen that. That's a strength. And I've never seen, at first I was sad, then I was never more impressed. And I said, well, it really is your perspective sometimes, isn't it? Because every situation does have pros and cons. The tough things that you go through in life, but they will produce in you rare gold, something that just shines, that nothing can take the shine from it. I'm still, as you can see, I'm still floored. I'm just like, wow. Yeah. Anyway, this other one I saw on Facebook, because I always get these things off of Facebook, you guys. I don't know why my little thing here just disappears sometimes. I've been working on my little computer here doing stuff, and then the mouse just disappeared. This is what I wanted to send out to Jesus today, because on this auspicious time, just before Resurrection Sunday, I wanted to share this with you from Facebook post from the past life. It's titled, You Feel Like Home. You don't ask me to explain the parts of me that went quiet long ago. You just sit beside the silence and make it feel like music. You hold me in ways that make time slow. Not out of fear, but out of fullness. I've known chaos. Oh, good Lord. I've known ache. But with you, I finally know what it means to be known and still be loved. Intimacy. Into me. See. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. For real. I mean, I'm floored. And then I got one more before I get out of here. This one was like the creme de la creme, because it was like what I was saying earlier. You know, you don't see what God is forming. You don't see what you're becoming. I'm sure that person does not see the strength and the fortitude that is within them. And so I thought about it like a butterfly, you know, without the struggle and the hurt and the harm of the cocoon and all that's got to go through. And, you know, it went in there as a, you know, caterpillar. It was okay as a caterpillar. And all that struggle produced something else. That struggle is what produced the butterfly. And you see, butterflies can't see their own wings, but the rest of the world can. You are the butterfly. And while you may not see it, we can. Remember, don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing better than you think, even on your worst day. You're choosing to keep going. And that is incredibly brave. Yeah, that's all in Renaissance, y'all. As I journey on, yeah, come see all that He has for me. 'Cause I love Him so, that's why I give Him my heart. He never leave or forsake you, no. Come go with me and see what He has in store if you take Him at His word.